Hello everyone. Before we get into the main topics of this video, I would like to start off with a little disclaimer. This video is not based on facts, it is solely based on my opinions and full of my own hot takes. I want this game to do well, so I'm hoping this kind of feedback will be beneficial to those who hear it. I've always enjoyed Tarkov, and I love the PvP that this game can offer, so I want nothing more to see it do well and succeed. Hopefully BSG can continue to listen to the feedback and make the necessary changes to improve the game and its experience for all players, new, old, and returning. Now, let's get into it by starting off with how the game itself feels. I am quite aware that this is just a beta, and I still think to this day people probably still don't even have access to the game. I could be wrong, but that doesn't excuse the fact that there are still core issues from the base game in this game that it is supposed to be a competitive shooter, or at least trying to be. Or maybe I'm just wrong, but the desync is very prevalent here, especially with the new kill cams feature. And audio can sometimes continue to still not even exist when people are walking on things such as metal or wood, both things that usually make a lot of noise in the base Tarkov game. Getting clearly shot around corners, not seeing guys on your own screen but the enemy sees your entire body and reacts first, causing you to be killed before you can even react yourself, or at most getting a single bullet off, is quite annoying. Or even the times when you know for a fact you shot more than 2 bullets at somebody, but instead, the kill cam says you only hit them once or none at all, despite their characters showing getting physically hit by the rounds. Another thing to add is more of a question. Why is it when the cleanup crew comes and they shoot you, does the timer go up and get reset when they're not a player? Just seems kind of weird. If they're there to push you to end the round, that they would be the ones that prevent you from doing so. And this also might come across as a small hot take, but playing solo in this game can be just super unfun. I know I can just find some friends to play with, which I do, but they aren't always around and I just want to play the game. I enjoy the PvP, and that's why I play the game. But solo just seems like it's hit or miss RNG based a lot of the time when it comes to the different kits and also just the people you're playing with. Now before I continue, I'd like to say that anyone who might be thinking how long I have been playing the game for, I've had the game since January of 2018. I'm in no way a pro at the game, and I'm actually quite literally dog shit at this game. And I played casually with friends and sometimes solo back then to now, taking breaks here and there to play other things. So hopefully that makes some people relax a bit and just continue to listen because we're just getting started. And I am in no way, again, attacking anyone's game or favorite company. I promise you. Now, let's get into the kits of the game and how this game works. Spoiler alert, one of my hot takes is incoming, so here we go. I do not think that Tarkov Arena should have a money system. Hot take, I know. The fact that you can go broke and have to revert to these free kits where you could either get a choice of a Taz or a TT pistol is just, in my opinion, terrible decision making. Oh, but you know, I just will be told that I need to get good, I guess, right? I know, I get it. It doesn't defeat the fact that it's a stupid design flaw in my own opinion. Also, what is this minus 10% commission fee at the end of each match? And I think it even goes higher the higher your kit goes. Whose idea was to punish the players even more for playing their game even if they won the match? Now, if they want a money system in the game, that's fine. But here is how I would tweak it. If anyone would like to add their input in the comments, please feel free so. Firstly, I believe that once you purchase a kit, that kit should always be unlocked for you to freely use whenever. So if I buy this first kit of Attic, I should never have to repay it for it again. Same with every other kit, maybe besides the rank specific kits that since they depend on your ranking elo, I guess. Secondly, I think it would be pretty cool if they wanted to still have money in Arena, that you can slightly change, alter, or edit your kit for purchase. For example, the Sandman kit that I have been stuck on is a pretty solid kit, minus one major thing. The ammo is Quakemaker. And before you get upset with me and say, just go for the legs, bro, it's just not that simple. My brain is trained to go for chest and headshots. So I have to always fight the urge to pull down and go for the legs. But the thing is, also, the gun shoots decently fast, but the kit having no helmet I can easily get one tapped in the face, which funnily enough is exactly what happens every single engagement, for the most part. I go for legs, I try to get the flesh damage kill, and they kill me 1 to 2 bullets, point firing me. I watch the kill cam back and it says I hit them for 5 to 9 bullets, but they hit me for 2. 1 in the head, and the fight is lost. So back to the original point, is that if we could just edit our kit ever so slightly, changing the ammo to something just even a little bit better, then there's another way BSG can make it so they still have money system within Arena. Or even just by adding a helmet might help. Since we are on the topics of kits, let's move on to kits. Now, I'm not really sure which dev likes cock and ball torture over there, but they need to reel it back some and relook at these kits, because the majority of them are horrid. I can understand the starting kit of a tree being bad because it's the starting kit, but there is no way that 2 to 3 or even 4 ways down the kit shouldn't be able to compete in most aspects of the game. I'll once again use my tree as an example because it's the only tree that I've been using thus far. The first 3 kits are pretty reasonable. I get decent 9x19 ammo, which is AP. You get no helmet, but some type of armor. Until you reach the 3rd kit, where you get no armor at all, but you have an MP9 with 9x19 ammo, and it shoots fast enough to compete, sort of, with the other classes you would be fighting. Then you hit the 4th kit, which is then 2 away from the last kit. And like I said previously, it's a decent kit, but the ammo, in my opinion, is just horrendous. Unless you manage to go for legs and you get the shot off first, or they happen to just not have a helmet or a helmet with a face shield that you could just tap them in the face with. The kits after that seem pretty good if you inspect them. A Scar with an M995 5.56 ammo. Haven't got to use it yet while editing this video, but I'm sure it'll do better than the previous one. Now moving on to something that might not really be a hot take, but I'm sure it'll actually do better for the game. The time you spent in the game grinding up a single kit, in my opinion, is a little bit ridiculous. And correct me if I'm wrong, but not being able to pick any kit in the connected tree and still be able to level it up is also, in my opinion, just overall terrible. If that doesn't make sense, let me explain. I think you should be able to pick any kit from the respective tree that connects it and be able to gain XP for that tree. Especially kits that maybe have offshoots that you are ahead of far enough that it levels them up. At most, while typing this out, I can see one devil's advocate being that if you just pick the first or second tree of a kit, you won't need to go that high and you'd have to pay less money for it. True, but this is also why earlier I suggested that money just not be a thing at all. Also, you realistically would want to pick the next class because the entire purpose of leveling up a class is to get something better, right? Well, for me, I would honestly just go back a single kit and use the previous to level up my tree if I could, but I can't. So I'm stuck on the kit that I absolutely just hate right now and find just unenjoyable to use. I know before I continue, I'm just using one tree as a main example, but that is because the game really doesn't promote picking multiple trees to go down, at least from what I've seen. So, I'm using the one that I've been using since the beginning, and I can't really switch around if I wanted to because the XP grind being at most 10k if you really do well in your match, down to 4,000 if you lose, is such a slog. Now, I want you to brace yourself because this next topic is going to cause a lot of heads to turn, and a lot of people are probably going to get mad at me for even suggesting such a thing in their video game Escape from Tarkov. Their super realistic military Navy SEAL simulator where you can wipe Vaseline on your eyes and be able to walk off the pain of being shot by a 308 round, or have blacked out head and torso. But I digress. So incoming hot take, just to forewarn you. I think at this moment in time, Arena should just remove friendly fire from the game until they come up with a better solution to help us identify our teammates. Some suggestions that I have in mind are the following. First, make it so that you are always on the blue team, and the enemy is always the red team, which would be client-side thing, I believe, would be the correct terminology there. But the way you never have to ask and check which side you are if you just are always the same team. You know you always shoot red, and the same goes for the opposing team, where they see themselves as blue, but you are red in their eyes, or screens, whatever. Second suggestion would be to completely change the outfits for which team you are on if they were to keep it the way it is right now. If you are blue, your entire outfit, other than your gear, should be blue. Blue pants, blue gloves, blue shirt, blue shoes, blue socks, blue boxers. Same for red. Your gear I can understand being black or tan, but they don't really cover your entire body like your clothes do. And also, it's just your gear. You'll probably switch it out in the mid-match anyway if you want something better. There is even a kit in the game where the person is wearing a blue shirt that can be on the red team with the red armbands, and I know for a fact that has gotten a lot of people killed because they thought it was their own team or they didn't know it was an enemy. Lastly, if you don't want to turn off friendly fire, make it so you're always one team, or change your clothing, I have one more suggestion. They need to add some type of dot or indication above your teammate's head that shows that you are an ally. But Snake, that's not realistic and my immersion is now broken. I don't care. I'm tired of getting killed or accidentally shooting or killing a teammate because I can't see their little rinky-dinky armbands from across the map. Or if I was just shooting an enemy and I go to chase him down, but then a team member appears and I just think it was the enemy that I was just chasing and I kill him, it makes me feel like shit. Not only that, but there's been numerous times where I'm sitting there, I'm staring at my teammate and he just continues to lay into me thinking that I'm an enemy and I die. Now for some final thoughts. Just want to point out some last minor pointers I would like to make at the end of this video. They need to fix the radio sound. I don't know what radios sound like that, but the loud screeching ear-bleeding sound that comes from it after someone speaks, that just has to go. The noise in the arena itself from the spectators and the announcers should be able to be turned down or just muted in general. I love not being able to hear because bro wants to yell in my ear the entire time. The arena has these weird sounds also going around and makes it sound like players are walking around me, but it's just the sound of the ambiance of the map, which I guess I just need to get used to be honest. But at this point, I think they should just add airdrops into the arena, but just the plane. They also need to add the ability to customize your loadouts and stays the way every single time you pick that kit. The fact that I can keep my keybinds but not the placements of my items inside my kit is really annoying sometimes. And Nikita, please, stop spawning me on single fire if I've changed it to auto for the last previous 100 games. I beg you, please. Sorry, I'm just coping. If you made it to the end of the video, I'd like to thank you for taking your time out to hear some loser on the internet ramble and rant about a video game they suck at. It really means a lot to me. I understand that there are a lot of more issues with the game that needs to be addressed and as well as better solutions to those issues. I am just here to highlight a lot of the main ones and provide feedback. If you agree with anything I said, but have some minor adjustments, feel free to post them down below. If you disagree, then also feel free to post it down below. If you want to insult me, please do it down below so I can get off to it tonight. I love being degraded. Have yourself a wonderful day, and see you in the arena.